Planet Dolan. A photograph captures a moment in time, something memorable, funny, or in this case deeply disturbing. Which images still haunt our nightmares after seeing them? What are the dark backstories to some of the strangest snaps ever caught on camera? Here are the photos that will make you uncomfortable. I'm Danger Dolan, and today I will be your narrator.
Number 15.
VERTICO. Anjun is a South Korean artist who creates breathtaking self-portraits of herself at the top of high skyscrapers around the world. Some of her work leaves viewers with the stomach-churning sensation of vertigo, as none of the images use CGI or editing, but were taken with a timer atop the tallest buildings of New York, Seoul, and Hong Kong. We don't recommend trying these at home. It's not worth dying for Instagram followers.
Number 14.
Columbine High School. The 1999 high school shooting of Columbine, Colorado shook America and raised national concern about gun violence. In the aftermath, numerous photos of the shooters were published, but none was more eerie than the school yearbook photo. The goofy photo of all the students were taken in the gym, and in the top left-hand corner, the two young men are visible, making mocking gun gestures towards the camera in a premonition of the massacre that took place that same year.
Number 13.
Meet Justin Bieber. Signs of the global Justin Bieber fever still show a few signs of slowing down. In the meantime, have a look at a photo of the young star back in 2011, made entirely out of meat. We have no idea what barbaric butcher created this monstrosity out of ground beef, bacon and olives, but it is likely the weirdest thing made out of meat that hasn't been on Lady Gaga's body.
Number 12.
Vladimir Komarov was a Soviet cosmonaut who was selected by the Soyuz space program. During the design phase of the first Soyuz spacecraft, both Komarov and colleague Yuri Gagarin pointed out flaws in the craft that made it unsafe. But when the time came for launch, Komarov knew that backing out meant that his colleague would have to go anyway. This photo from 1967 shows the burned remains of Komarov, who fell to Earth screaming with rage, the first man to die in a spacecraft.
Number 11.
Worms on a post. The next image was taken during a small flood, where large areas of land became covered in polluted floodwater, forcing the local insect life to seek shelter above the surface. As a result, we're faced with this horrific scene where millions of worms, millipedes, and ground beetles have scuttled and squirmed their way up a concrete post, making it look like a popsicle from the depths of hell.
Number 10.
The double face illusion. These next images are not as creepy as the others, but are definitely mentally uncomfortable and may hurt your brain if you look too long. The human visual system is designed to notice faces very quickly, as this helps us find friends and enemies. But when the key features of the face, the eyes and mouth are doubled, your brain can't create a working structure, so it's almost impossible to keep looking.
Number 9.
The shell-shocked soldier. The horrifying conditions of the First World War trenches were enough to shake anyone's sanity. The constant sounds of explosions and the death of companions caused a condition then known as shell shock, related to what we call now PTSD. This photo shows an Allied soldier from 1916 whose mind was broken under the strain. In his eyes you can see the so-called 1,000-yard stare associated with soldiers who had been through hell and back.
Number 8.
Stuckie the dog. Sometime around 1960 in Georgia, USA, a hunting dog was running through the forest, chasing something through the trees. Following its prey, the dog crawled through a hole at the bottom of a tree and squeezed up the trunk until the passageway became narrower and narrower, and then the dog was stuck. 60 years later, lumberjacks discovered the hound and took this photo of its mummified body, preserved by the tannins in the wood of the tree.
Number 7.
Japanese artist Hirotoshi Ito carves designs into stones and pebbles, giving the illusion of something man-made hidden beneath the surface of something natural. But his insertion of fake teeth inside a hard stone is perhaps one of the most disturbing artworks created. There's just something about hard stone, zippers and teeth that makes us uncomfortable, especially when it's smiling.
Number 6.
Home. The horrors of the Nazi Holocaust during World War II would do lasting damage to anyone, let alone a child. In a home for disturbed children in Poland in 1948, this photo was taken of a girl named Teresa who grew up inside a concentration camp. As part of therapy, she was asked to draw the idea of home on the blackboard. The chaotic scribbling that resulted shows the state of her mind after witnessing worse than we can imagine.
Number 5.
Car crash evolution. There's always something creepy about something which looks human but quite isn't. This next image was created by a collaboration between a sculptor, an ad agency, a surgeon, and a car crash expert. It shows what a human would look like if we had evolved specifically to survive car crashes. The man, named Graham, has a large, thick skull full of fluid, no neck, liquid-filled bags on his chest like airbags, and extra flexible leg joints. It's very sexy.
Number 4.
Jonestown Massacre. In the mid-70s, cult leader Jim Jones established the People's Temple Agricultural Project, a settlement community for his religion located in Guyana. Within a few years, things had started to go wrong with the authorities, and Jones ordered the mass suicide of his followers by drinking from a punch bowl of poison Kool-Aid. This photo was taken from a helicopter after the event, showing the bodies of nearly 1,000 cult members.
Number 3.
captive for 25 years. In 1875, a young woman named Blanche Monnier fell in love with a lawyer in the French city of Poitiers. Her mother disapproved of the relationship, so, like any good parent would do, she locked her daughter in a tiny room for 25 years. During this time, Blanche never saw sunlight or another person, save her mother or brother. After receiving an anonymous tip-off in 1901, police broke in and found the woman, aged 55 and weighing 25 kilos, as the photo shows.
Number 2.
Congo rubber plantation. When an English missionary arrived in the Congo in 1904, she witnessed the horrific abuse and slavery of native workers by British and Belgian companies. She set about documenting the suffering under colonial rule that the people endured, took a photo of a man who had failed to meet his quota for rubber production, so the managers had killed his wife and daughter. He was left with his daughter's severed hand and foot.
Number 1.
Radiation victim. An accident at the Tokamura nuclear facility in 1999 left 2 workers exposed to failed doses of radiation. One of them, Hisashi Oichi, began to vomit and collapsed almost immediately. He was rushed to hospital. Over the next week, his body and DNA began to disintegrate, and he begged doctors not to prolong his suffering. This horrifying photo comes not too long before he died, 83 days after exposure. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. That is it for this countdown. Have a good one!